From scenic attractions to urban escapades, Meghalaya offers a complete bouquet of experiences. Known for its rich cultural heritage, the state offers a tailor-made destination for those who love adventure and natural beauty, while its largely unexplored nature adds a tinge of the unexpected. To help you wander around and hit some of the best landmarks and destinations, I caught up with the founder and proprietor of Duia Trailblazers, a passionate explorer and adventurer with more than 10 years of experience in the field. Armed with a Bachelor of Tourism Administration from Martin Luther Christian University and a Master in Tourism and Travel Management from IGNOU, he was adjudged the one to watch in the Sustainability Champions Grassroots Heroes category and the gold winner in the Sustainable Leadership Travel Enterprises category at the Indian Responsible Tourism State Awards 2023. You're watching Shillong Buzz. I'm Aaron Lingdo. Please meet my guest this episode, Gerald Samuel Duia. Gerald, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Aaron.
First of all, what you do is something that a lot of people would envy. You explore, you discover, spend time in nature, right? Can things get any better?
Thank you, Aaron, for having me in this show. And yes, I'm very fortunate that I took tourism as a profession and a career. And for the joy of exploration, for the joy of doing new things, for the seeking thrilling adventures and meeting new people. So I'm very fortunate to be a tourism professional, so to say. And yes, things couldn't get any better because things could get much more better because we're coming up with many new adventure activities, many new experiences in Meghalaya, because Meghalaya itself is at its adolescent stage when it comes to tourism. So there are many new opportunities for young people. There are many new outlets for people who would like to take tourism as a profession as well. So these are the things like that I do, and I'm very fortunate again that being in this industry, we meet new people from other states and even our other parts of the country as well, and even other people from other countries as well. So being in this industry again, it is something that allows me to escape from work. Even if I go out to work also, it's like an escape for me. And being one with nature, being one with the local communities, spending time with them and promoting our culture and then giving them livelihood from the things that we do is something that I'm quite happy to do.
Exactly. So things could get better, but obviously you're happy doing what you do. I would love to do what you do. Like I said, move out of your house, spend time with nature. You meet a lot of people, during the entire process while you're doing so. Tell me a little bit about Duia Trailblazers, its inception and its aims and objectives.
So yes, a little bit about Duia Trailblazers is I've started I started my career as a musician back in the days. So I used to play drums and I used to be in several bands. And after that, I fell in love with photography. So since 2012, I started because of music gigs and all. We got to tour to so many local villages for fates and other small events. So I got to see the beauty of these villages, and I started developing a passion for photography. So and then from photography, I started traveling to these places, exploring new locations and discovering new beautiful places and all. So the thing is, after that, I entered Martin Luther Christian University. I enrolled myself for the course of Bachelor in Tourism Administration, and I did my studies there. And then since then also, I started tour guiding since 2012. So with the passion actually to show people how rich our state is, and from there I started developing more and more passion about traveling and about the culture of the people, about showing what we have, what richness do we have, what diversity we have in Meghalaya. So in 2018 I started Duia Trailblazers. So with a lot of experience in the field, I don't want to give experiences to people like a sightseeing tour, just go to a place, take a
Sure.
selfie and stuff like that. But we want to immerse them to give visitors the true Meghalayan experience. So I started Duia Trailblazers with an aim to develop these tours. So all of our tours, if you see our itineraries, it's not randomly like you go to Cherrapunji to Nokkalakai Falls and then you go back to your hotel, but we rather focus on experiences, taking people to offbeat locations,
I
to
agree. Yeah.
new locations where people can engage with the local communities, can learn from the local people there, learn their lifestyle. So we mostly curate and focus on eco-rural tours, culture and heritage tours, and adventure tours. So these three elements, we put them together in the itinerary for people to experience for people to get to experience these things in Meghalaya. Because now people have changed. Since COVID, I've realized that people have changed. The trend has changed, that people would want experiences, not just a mere sightseeing tour.
I agree.
So even I also would like to go to some places and get to know more about the culture, get to know more about the people, do a bit of that adventure, and then the history and the culture of the people, and eat local food, have local drinks. It's something that that people are looking towards doing in Meghalaya right now.
You see, there is a lot of competition in the market to begin with. You go online, you see other agencies, etc. What sets your agency different from other agencies to give, like you mentioned, that true Meghalayan experience?
Yes, that's a very good question. So many people that coming to Meghalaya, we've got so many queries that they wanted to do some types of activities that they see on the internet. So that information that they get on the internet is somewhere done by some tour operators outside of the state who does not know the ABC of our state. So being a local entrepreneur, being a local tour operator,
There's an advantage there. Yes. Yeah,
with
yeah.
the experience, like I will not so to say, like, people, when we give an itinerary, we know where we are taking them. It's not that somewhere that I read on the internet, I just curate an itinerary and then
Fair
look on the
enough.
map.
Yeah.
So basically, being a local guy, being a local tour operator in the state, we have a lot of advantage. We give genuine experiences, and people, they don't get cheated.
Now, you mentioned somewhere also that Meghalaya, the tourism industry here in the state, is at its adolescent stage. Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. Basically, like, if we look at the tourism industry in Meghalaya, why I'm saying at an adolescent stage is because we, as stakeholders in the tourism industry, we are the first generation stakeholders in the tourism industry. So back in the days, you will not hear of any tour operators. You will not hear the word tour operators. But with this, with the footfall of tourism and the rise of tourism in Meghalaya, we have seen. So to say, I started my tour operator in 2018. There were other tour operators who started 20 years ago. But since 2018, since 2019, even during the pandemic, I've seen a lot of people curating experience and opening up tour operators. But all of these also, like it just just because of COVID, like that revenge tourism that they say, like, they've seen that there's a lot of footfall in Meghalaya.
True.
So a lot of fly-by-night tour operators also has popped up. So when I say an adolescent stage, it means like we are the first generation, and we are still at that stage where we commit a lot of mistakes. We are not sure about what the industry is. We just venture directly. We are not trained professionals. Most of the tour operators out here that you will see online also, I doubt that they will have any idea about tourism.
Yeah.
And they will just have a small itinerary. Maybe they just visit Meghalaya, and then they for 1 week, and they curate that itinerary. They have that itinerary with them, which maybe some local tour operators like myself and other tour operators from the state have given the itinerary, and then they sell that to other clients in their own respective states. But yeah, so being in this industry, like at this point of time, like, even if you look at the policy by the government also, there are still a lot of things that needs to be revamped, because whatever is written in the policy which they have published, like, it's only like a plan. It's not that you can monitor, you can how do I say this?
In
like
terms of execution, you mean
execution,
to say,
yes,
right?
yes, to execute all of those plans. But it's just like they have the core thrust area, they have the all those things that they have written in the policy, but so to say, like monitoring is not there, execution is not there, and there's a lot of disadvantage in a way, like so to say, again mentioning this, because we are local tour operators. Another problem is we don't have regulations for regulating tour operators from outside of the
We
state.
still don't have it?
We don't have.
Okay.
So basically, if you look at it, I'll not. I mean, like I don't know how to elaborate this, but just to make it brief, like we pay our taxes in our state.
Okay.
We pay our GST, whatever it is, other taxes also, and we do tours in our state, right?
Okay.
But somehow other people sitting in other states are doing business here, whereas they're paying GST at their own state. So that's a loss to our state, right? That's a loss to the revenue of the state.
Yeah.
So we don't have any kind of mechanism, even though we are the 6th schedule area, which people doing business here needs to obtain a trading license. But till date, such things are not mechanized. So we are still at an adolescent stage.
You just spoke about some of the government policies, Gerald. I'm curious to know what's the government's role in expediting your own personal journey so far?
The government's role, like in my opinion, the government is the facilitator. So us stakeholders, we play a lot of role in terms of in the industry itself, because we are the people who are working at grassroots levels. We know what are the issues. We know what are the the things that are going on. What are the other problems that other people directly or indirectly are facing. So the government, in my opinion, is just a facilitator. So the role of the government should it should understand the things that we do, and then listen to our problems, and facilitate all of these problems, and when we address the issues, they should they should take initiative in implementing these things also, so that it'll ease out the ease of doing business in the state, especially in this tourism, because it's booming like it's booming like wildfire.
10 years into tour guiding, I'm sure there must be a lot of experiences that you've had throughout the journey. However, tell us that one experience that will stay with you for a very long time.
I mean, like, I cannot say just one experience,
Hence.
but there are many. So there was this this particular experience, that I was on a journey when I was tour guiding with a group of convoy of vehicles. So it's called an overlanding journey. So that one journey, it has given me a lot of knowledge, because that was the first ever of its kind that I've done. So basically, I got a call from a friend. I mean, now he's a friend. So he's from Kolkata. So he's been doing all these overlanding journeys. So basically, he'll take all the 4x4 vehicles and then make people sit in the vehicles and do a self-drive. So
that sounds fun.
Yeah. It was fun, and the journey from this, the experience from this journey was amazing. That I ended up doing these overlanding trips with him. So from this first journey that we traveled all the way from Tura to remote places. Actually, there are some places that I've not been there also myself, but with the help of few friends from Garo Hills, we were able to execute these tours. And then from there, we have became friends, and then I got to join his expeditions to several other states as well on a self-drive journey. So from that, this overlanding journey that came to Meghalaya was quite fascinating, and the experience that I could remember so far.
Exactly, like I said, that sounds really fun. Gerald, I really agree with one thing that you said, that tour guiding, of course, is giving the youth here in the state a lot of opportunities in terms of earning their livelihood and employment, etc. The question is, how does one even start?
I will say, how do you start is basically you'll have to have a lot of knowledge about our state as a whole, even from the population, even from the the district wise. Navigation is very important, because as a tour guide you need to know where to go, where to take people, what is the time, and all of these other things. So where to start is basically you can start anywhere at any point of time, because Meghalaya, if you look at Meghalaya, youths out right now, they have become tour guides in their own respective villages. So I'll give you an example.
So
like
they're taking advantage of the local space that they are.
Yes,
right?
yes. So it's I mean, like if you look at Mauplang is a very prime destination because they have I mean knowledgeable guides over there. And if you look at destinations like Sora, like Terna, like Nong Riat, back in the days, those local guys over there, they don't know what tour guiding is. But with
Why
tourism,
is that gap then? Why do we see that gap?
yeah, actually, back in the days, they don't realize that you can earn a livelihood by taking people out.
All right, fair enough.
So, like I said, back in the days, these people were just people who took people out in the way that you give them directions, not explaining what that place is all about. But now we've seen that people are starting to know what tour guiding is about, and some have also taken it as a career in this field. So I mean, like, you can start anywhere provided you have the knowledge, and also it is very important for guides to be equipped with basic courses.
Right.
They should go for basic courses in maybe in tourism, or maybe in tour guiding, or maybe adventure guiding. And for especially for adventure guides, they need to be certified on first aid and CPR, because these are very important when you take people out in case there's a minor injury or maybe a major injury or an accident. You get to help them, and it looks professional as well. And anybody can start tour guiding provided they have these qualities, and they should be well versed with certain languages. Even I'm not well versed with Hindi, but English is fine.
Well, I saw your Hindi on Instagram. That was, at least you tried. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
You know what? Apart from what you do for the agency and in the agency, all right, what is you also run what we call your tribe stable and the magazine as well, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit about those two ventures?
Yeah, so Tribe Stable was a cloud kitchen during the COVID days, because like myself, I'm a foodie as well. So I like to explore the local delicacies of Meghalaya and other parts of the country as well, but particularly talking about Meghalaya. So I came up with that concept because I wanted to set up a dining, a kind of a restaurant, but in a very traditional manner. But during COVID time, I thought of doing that, but looking at the industry at that time, like we were the first to get hit and the last to recover.
Right.
So to continue on investing in that venture, I have stopped because it's quite a challenge. And maybe in the near future, I will be doing something on this because I've started. I will not give up.
Okay.
So, and about the adventure magazine, it's on the process of registration right now. So basically, like, if you look at Northeast, we have a lot of scope for adventure tourism. And if you look at places like Sikkim, Arunachal and all, people, they travel all the way to Nepal to climb mountains, right? But we have our own mountains here. If you look at Meghalaya, we have lots and lots of caves where people have been coming for expeditions from all across the globe to this particular place, So with tourism, with all of these things going on, like, we want to highlight the stories of adventurers and how people conquer mountains and how people go inside the caves, of how people do kayaking, and how, like, these stories that will inspire people, because adventure, like I said, in Northeast is still not touched at this moment. So we want to showcase all of these things, just like Red Bull is doing, just like other Nat Geo is doing. So being a local, I would like to take that initiative and start small, but at least we aim big as well, but we want to showcase what adventure activities and what adventure can be in the Northeast.
Start small but have a big aim. I totally agree with that, Gerald. So Gerald, you've traveled to other states here in the Northeast and beyond as well. What are some of the sustainable tourism practices that you notice in those places that we can, easily replicate it in our own state as well?
So to say, like, Sikkim is the best destination that I must take an example from, because they've started tourism since ages, and it's the guidelines for entering Sikkim itself. It's always local. It's not just about the environment, first thing. It's about the sustainability of the livelihood, the sustainability of the culture, the sustainability of the economy on the tourism perspective.
Right.
So in my opinion, we have to really take example from Sikkim, and in other looking at other parts of the world as well, I would replicate Bhutan as a very nice destination that we should take example from. So these are the two destinations that I really look up to in terms of tourism.
Fair enough. So, what are some of the do's and don'ts then that, visitors should consider when they come, on a vacation here to our state?
The do's and don'ts on a vacation to the state, like, there's a difference between the word tourist and a traveler. So a tourist
What's the difference?
So a tourist will just go, will be a tourist, will just take pictures, see go to museums and stuff like that. But a traveler would want to immerse oneself into certain experiences. So I myself would differentiate these two words. So basically, when you come to Meghalaya as a tourist, then you know what you want as a visitor of the state. But if you come as a traveler, you want to experience the local culture, you want to experience the adventure activities, you want to do stuff that are available only in Meghalaya.
I agree with you. Now, when you speak of vacation and people coming out of their homes and seek some peace and tranquility, at a place called Meghalaya, what are some of the must-visit places that one should consider?
We have lots and lots of places in Meghalaya. So one can consider visiting, if you talk about popular spots,
Yeah.
there are many popular spots, like in Sora itself is a very popular destination, and in Dauki, Umngat Maulanong also is a very popular destination. But when you look at sustainable tourism, how we operate, I'll just give you an example of what we operate. The must-visit spots for people who seek a vacation to Meghalaya should be, they should consider visiting places that are less crowded.
True.
If they seek tranquility and peacefulness, they should visit places in the Garo Hills, where some places are untouched. Even though accessibility to these places is a bit of a challenge, but there's no, there's no harm in doing a bit of an adventure, traveling to these places. So places in Garo Hills are there, places in Southwest Khasi Hills are there, places in West Khasi Hills are there. So these are some of the places, like to name all of them, I will not be able to name, but district wise,
yes.
yeah, these are the places. And even in Ribhoi also, Ribhoi is known as a very less footfall destination for tourists. But if you look at the culture, at the food, at the agriculture itself, Ribhoi is also one of the destinations where people can go and just experience how people live there, how people,
Exactly.
They cultivate their crops, how to participate in the threshing season, where the paddy season. So some of the things that we have been doing so
Right.
far. Yeah.
And basically it all boils down to the experience that one should gain when you come and
Yes.
visit a place, and memories that you take back. Gerald, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're currently working on?
So currently we're working on a training center. So I'm very grateful that the government has also helped and come up with various initiatives to promote entrepreneurship.
Right.
So to say, I'm very thankful to Prime Hub, because through this competition, it's a challenge actually. I got the grant for 50 lakhs, which is sorry, not the grant, but I got a sum of prize money of 50 lakhs.
Right.
So 20 lakhs is the grant and 30 lakhs is the zero interest loan. So with this money, I'm coming up with an institution, an adventure training academy.
Nice.
So it's called Duia Trailblazers Adventure Training Academy. So it will be in the outskirts of Meghalaya. We'll be launching it soon, and we're focusing on training people in various adventure sports, like caving, canyoning, rappelling, water safety.
Is canyoning your latest discovery? Is it?
Canyoning, yes, it was. Not latest, but we have ventured into canyoning since 2020, 2019. We had a good friend from Bangalore who's training us on these
Right.
activities. Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, hypothetical situation, if you weren't the founder and proprietor of Duia Trailblazers, what would you be in?
That is a difficult question
Of
because
course, hence it's part of the interview.
that's a really difficult question, because I would not imagine myself doing other things like a desk job or something. I'm more of a person who's going out in the field and getting things done there. I guess I sit in a desk also, but I would rather love to be out rather than, I could not imagine myself doing some other things. other than this work that I'm doing right now.
And finally, Gerald, we will wait for the institute to open in 2024, where you will dole out a lot of valuable advice to your prospective students, etc. But for now, to all the viewers watching us this moment, what advice would you have for aspiring, students and aspiring amateurs who wants to get into, your tour guiding, etc.?
So one thing about tourism is that tourism is not a one-man industry. Basically, we have to be working with so many other types of people, so many other types of ventures and businesses. So I'll just give you an example. We have to work with people in the accommodation unit, in the transportation unit, with the tour guides, and even with people who have shops, who own small homestays and all. We have to work together.
True.
So my message to these to the viewers is tourism is a booming industry in Meghalaya. It will become an industry soon. That is what I have seen. And the thing is, we need to, like I mentioned earlier, we are the first generation stakeholders. We need to be united. We need to work together. We need to uplift one another. We need to be be strong.
Right.
And we need to be united again. We cannot pull each other down. If someone is going up, we should encourage them. If someone is struggling with something, we should help them. This is what I have in mind when it comes to tourism. I'm very passionate about it, and I'm willing to help anybody who at my capacity. And also I request all the youths, all the viewers to be to stand together. And maybe we never know, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren will be surviving on tourism. That is what I have seen in Meghalaya. So we have to start from now by doing these things.
In Gerald's own words, we are indeed the first generation tourism stakeholders. Our tourism industry here in Meghalaya is at an adolescent stage. Hence, we must work together to sustain our future generations, keeping in mind to adopt best practices to safeguard our economy, our culture, and of course, the environment. And with that, we wrap up yet another edition of Shillong Buzz. I'm Aaron Lingdo. Until next time, goodbye.